Everyone. In today's video, we will learn how to adjust subscription when the total number of members are given and their annual subscription per member is provided. And we will also learn how to adjust items when the related fund is lesser than the total expenses. So let me show you the question. In this question, we have to prepare the income and expenditure account for the year ending 31st December 2017. They have given us the receipts and payments account and the additional information. So let us see what is the information given in the receipts and payments account. They have given us the opening balance of cash. They have also given us the total amount received as subscription during the year, and the amount belongs for 2016, 2017 and 2018. And they have given us the sale of furniture. The cost of the furniture is provided to us. Then the total tournament receives during the year in cash. Then they have created a sports fund, 10,000 rupees. Donation for sports which was received during the year, 3,000 rupees. Salaries paid 1,100 and it was paid for 11 months. Tournament expenses 1,600. Investment was made during the year. The value of the investment was 1,000 rupees. Furniture purchase 400 rupees. Stationeries paid 1,200. Then sports expenses incurred 15,000 rupees, miscellaneous expenses 200 rupees. Then rent paid up to February 2018 1,400, and closing balance of cash was 440. They have also given us the additional information related to subscription. They have given us the additional information related to stock of stationery. They have given us the opening stock and the closing stock of stationery. They have also given us the opening value of land and building, and they have also given us the opening value of furniture. They have also given the information that interest was accrued for 3 months, and the rate of interest was 6% per annum. So with this information, we have to prepare the income and expenditure account. So let me separate the items of revenue nature which will come in the income and expenditure account. Subscription is a revenue nature item. Loss to sale of old furniture is a capital nature, but if there is any profit or loss, that will come in the income and expenditure account. So here we can see there is a loss of ₹60. So this will come towards the expenditure side as loss on sale of old furniture. Then tournament received is a revenue nature item. Sports fund is a capital nature item. Donation for sports is a specific donation, so it will be treated as a capital nature item. Salary is a revenue nature item. Tournament expense is a revenue nature item. Investment is a capital nature item, but if there is any interest related to investment, that will be treated as revenue received, and it will be shown on the income side of the income and expenditure account. And we can see that the additional information shows that interest is accrued on investment. Then furniture is a capital nature item. Stationery is a revenue nature item. Sports expense is a revenue nature item. Miscellaneous expense is a revenue nature item. Rent is a revenue nature item. So let me separate the items which requires adjustments. So from the additional information, we can see that subscription will require adjustment. Then we can see stationery will require adjustment. Then we can also see that we have to calculate interest on investment. Then we have to make adjustments related to sports expenses, as there is a fund related to sports and donation for sports also is there. Then we have to adjust salaries, we have to adjust rent. So these are the items which will require adjustments. Now there is one information which is given in the additional information. So if we see this part, that on 1st 2017 the club owned land and building valued at 20,000 and furniture valued at 1,300. This is the opening value of land and building and the opening value of furniture. Now in this question, they have not given us the percentage to calculate the depreciation, and they have also not given the closing value of these assets. So here we cannot find the depreciation, as we do not have the closing value and we do not have the percentage. So this item will not be required in our adjustments. So let me start with the income side. So for to start the income side, let me take the items from the receipts and payments account. So let me start with subscription. Now to show you subscription, let me take the items separately. So the items of the additional information and the information from the receipts and payments account. So if I take the information from the receipts and payments account and the additional information, it will appear like this. So this is the information of the receipts and payments account for subscription and the additional information for subscription. Now, if we look at the information given to us, if we see in the receipts and payments account, we see that the total cash received as subscription is 2,700, and it was received in the year ending 31st December 2017. So this is received in 2017. The total receive of subscription was 2,700, out of which 100 was the receive as the receipts of 2016, which was the outstanding of 2016, and it was received in 2017. Then advance was received for the next year, that is for 2018. It was received in 2017. So the total subscription received in cash is 2,700. They've also given us the information that the organization had 300 members, each of them paying an annual subscription of 10. So from this information we can understand that the total subscription for the year will be 3,000 rupees, as there are 300 members who are paying 10 rupees annually. 10 rupees annually. So the total subscription for the year should be 3,000 rupees. But we have to show the details of this 3,000 rupees, as how much cash was received and how much is outstanding for the current year. So let us see the additional information, and that they have also given that 70 rupees are still in arrears for subscription of 2016. So 70 rupees is still outstanding. So this is the outstanding of 2016, and they have not paid, the members have not paid even in 2017. So this amount is still outstanding. So if you look at the receipts and payments account, we can see that there is 100 rupees which is received as an outstanding of 2016 in 2017. So 100 rupees was received, and this also is the outstanding of 2016. So this was received in 2017. So the total outstanding of 2016 is 170. We don't need to adjust this 70 rupees, as we don't need to show this in our income and expenditure account, as we are preparing the income and expenditure account of 2017, and this is the subscription of 2016. And we only need to adjust this 100 rupees. That means we have to deduct this 100 rupees because this is the outstanding of 2016 when we take this amount of 2,700 in our income and expenditure account. So we are not going to deduct 170 because the clear information given to us is that the amount which is received was 100 rupees. So we will deduct 100 rupees from 2,700. Now the other information which is given to us related with subscription is that there are 10 members out of the 300 members. There are 10 members who had paid their subscription for 2017. So 10 members from that 300 members, they have already paid the advance subscription for the current year, and they have paid it in 2016. So there are 10 members who have already paid the subscription in advance. That means they have paid 100 rupees in advance. 100 rupees advance subscription was received. It was received in 2016, but this belongs for 2017. So we have to show this 100 rupees in the account of 2017. That means for in the current year we have to show this, because this is the subscription of the current year. So if we have to show the details of this 3,000 rupees, we will show it in this way. The total subscription for the year should be 3,000, which we know already. We already know it, but we have to show the details, how much cash is received. So the total cash received as subscription is 2,700. We have to remove 100 rupees because this is the subscription of the previous year. Then 200 rupees we have to remove. This is the advance of the next year, which is included in this 2,700. So we get 2,400, which is the actual subscription of the current year. This is the cash which is received as subscription for the current year. Then we also have the information that 100 rupees is already received in advance. So the total cash that is received is 2,500. The cash which is received in the current year and the cash which is received in the previous year for the current year subscription. So the total subscription received in cash for the current year is 2,500, but the total subscription should be 3,000. So there is a shortage of 500. That means some members have not paid the subscription of the current year, and this is the outstanding of 2017. That means it is for the current year. So this 500 rupees. So when we show this in our account, we will show it in this way. First of all, we will calculate the total subscription of the year, then the advance which is received in the previous year for the current year. Then we can show this in our account. We can write the heading Income and Expenditure account of Lions Club for the year ending 31st December 2017, expenditure, income. Then we will write by subscription, total cash received was 2,700. But before that, we can enter this 3,000, which we have already calculated. Then we can write by subscription 2,700. Then we deduct the outstanding, which is included in this 2,700. The actual outstanding was 170, but the amount was received. The amount was received was 100 rupees. This is the outstanding of the previous year, which is there in this 2,700. So we are removing that. Then 200 rupees also we are removing it because it is included in 2,700 and it is for the next year. Then we add the advance which was received in the previous year for the current year. After that, we get a total of 2,500, and the difference is 500 rupees, which we need to calculate. So our outstanding for the current year is 500 rupees. We can show it in the other way. I think this will be more easier. We just show this 2,400, which is received as subscription for the current year from the receipts and payments account. Then we add the advance which was received from the members in the previous year for the current year. So our total comes to 2,500, the cash which is received. Our actual subscription is 3,000. So the difference of 500 rupees is the outstanding of 2017. So in this sum, they will not give you the outstanding. We have to find the outstanding. First of all, we always calculate the total subscription of the year. We can first of all enter that, and then later on we can write we can enter the other information. Then we can calculate the outstanding of the current year. So I hope you have understood this. It is important in this question. The next item which requires adjustment is interest on investment. Now the interest on investment is accrued for 3 months, and the rate of interest is 6%. So we can calculate this way. The investment was 1,000, the rate of interest was 6%, and it was accrued for 3 months. So the accrued interest is 15 rupees. So we can enter in this way. By accrued interest on investment, 15 rupees. The next item which we need to enter on the income side. Now the item which is left is tournament received. So we can enter this also. We can write here as by tournament receives 2,000 rupees. The income side is over. Now we will enter the expenditure side. Let me start with the first adjustment, that is stationery. The stationery purchase during the year is 1,200. Since they have given us the opening stock of stationery, and the closing stock of stationery. So we have to take the actual stationeries consumed in this sum. So to calculate the actual stationeries consumed or used during the year, we have to calculate in this way. According to the additional information, the opening stock of stationery was 100 rupees. Then from the receipts and payments account, we add the purchases made. Then the total stock comes to 1,300. The closing stock shows us 140. So the actual stationeries consumed or used was 1,160. So we can enter this towards the expenditure side, and to stationeries consumed 1,160. Now the next item I will take is salaries. By salaries of 11 months, 1,100. So the salaries was paid in cash was for 11 months. So there is an outstanding of 1 month, because we have to show on accrual basis. We have to show for 12 months. Even if it is not paid, we have to show the actual salary of the current year. That means there is an outstanding of 1 month. To calculate the outstanding of 1 month, we calculate the 1 month salary, that is the total payment of salary, and for how many months it is paid. It is paid for 11 months. If we divide, we get 1 month salary. So the outstanding of 1 month is 100 rupees. So we can enter it to salary from the receipts and payments account, 100 rupees, add the outstanding of 1 month. So 12 month salary is 1200. The next item is rent. The rent is paid up to February 2018. So the amount which is paid is 1400. This amount which is paid is actually, it is for 14 months, because the organization has paid 12 months rent of the current year, and they have also paid 2 months rent in advance for the next year. That means for January and February. So we have to, the total month will come to 14. So this for 1400 is for 14 months. So we have to remove this 2 months rent as it is for the next year. So we can calculate the rent, prepaid rent. First of all, we'll calculate the rent of 1 month, that is the total rent paid divided by the rent paid, the number of months for which the rent was paid. So we get 1 month's rent, which is 100 rupees. So the advance rent of 2 months is 200 rupees. So we will remove this 200. So we write to rent from the receipts and payments account. The actual rent paid in cash is 1400. So less prepaid 200. So 12 months rent is 1200. The next item that I will take will be sports expenses. If we look at the sports expenses, it is 15,000. But we can see that there is a fund for sports which they have created during the year, that is 10,000 rupees, and there is donation which is received for sports. So if we add the donation to the fund, the total fund comes to 13,000. But if we look at the expense, it is 15,000. So in this case, we can see that the expense is less. The expense is more, and the total fund is less. The expense is less by, and the expense is more by 2,000 rupees. So this 2,000 rupees will be shown in the income and expenditure account. Normally the expense is not shown if the fund can cover the whole expense, because the fund will be shown on the balance of the fund will be shown in the liability side of the balance sheet. But in this case, the fund is not enough to meet the total expense. So we have to show the shortage in the income and expenditure account. So this 2,000 rupees will be charged to the income and expenditure account in this sum. So this is how we will calculate. The expense is more, so we write the expense, sports expense is 15,000. We deduct the sports fund, then we deduct the donation received for sports. So the excess sports expenses is 2,000 rupees, and this is what we are going to show in the expenditure side. To sports expense, 2,000 rupees. Normally we do not show the expense if it has a fund, but if the fund cannot cover the expense, then the excess expense is shown on the expenditure side. Then we have the next item is loss on sale of furniture. So it is 60 rupees. So we can show this to loss on sale of furniture, 60 rupees. The next item, the items which requires adjustment I've taken, salary I've taken, tournament expenses I have to take, then stationery is adjusted already, sports expenses also is adjusted, miscellaneous expenses I have to take. So miscellaneous expense and tournament expenses left, rent is taken already, so I will enter them in my account. To tournament expense 1,600, to miscellaneous expense 200 rupees. So I've taken all the expenditures and all the incomes, and if I total the expenditures, I get 7,420, and if I deduct the total income from the expenditure, I get a difference of 2,405, which is our deficit. So I hope you have understood how we have solved the question. The important thing which we should learn from this sum is related to adjustment of subscription, where the total members are given and their annual subscription is also provided. Then we should also learn how we have treated the item when the fund is less to cover the expense. You can show the additional information in the working note in this way. Thank you.